I was explaining to one of my friends last night what the 80-20 principle was, and I was telling him that not all tasks have disproportional outcomes depending on what they are. And an extreme of this would be the butterfly effect, which is the idea, I'm just going to take it to my own analogy here, the idea that there is some leaf in this world that when picked up will set a chain of actions into event that will bring about the end of world hunger. So I could pick up, but you have to find what leaf that will be. I don't necessarily know which leaf it would be, and you have to spend time to actually find that one leaf. But theoretically, there is one leaf in this world that when picked up would bring about actions that would put an end to world hunger. The other end of the extreme would be there are some tasks that when performed, no matter how long you do them, no matter how exhausted you are at the end of the day by performing them, they will not change your life at all. Nothing in the world will change, and you will just be tired and die. And a great example, and the reason I'm filming right here, is because we have a 100-year-old oak tree. And I could try to push this oak tree down with my bare hands for hours a day. It's not going to go anywhere. It's a Sisyphusian task that will lead to nothing happening. All that happens is the earth is going to get marked up like that. You know what? It might get so marked up that the tree eventually dies, but I'm not going to be able to push it down. Physically, it will not happen, and this is a very easy way to demonstrate how not all tasks are created equal. Just because you put in hard work at something does not mean you're going to get the outcomes you want. And especially with being a business owner, there's a difficulty of this because you have to assign yourself tasks that you want to perform. You have to look at the world and look at your to-do list and be like, which of these tasks is going to give me the biggest results for my time, the most bang for your buck? And it's difficult when you're an employee, when you have a job, your boss tells you what to do and you just do it. You don't have to think. You're not questioning, is this where I should actually be spending my time? And a really good example, which came about in a discussion yesterday, was also the idea of if hard work was everything, then why are third world countries so poor, like Bangladesh, India, and many African ones? Those people living in those countries work their butt off. They slave day in and day out doing hard, dangerous tasks, yet they do not share in the same wealth as the United States. They do not have the same results an office worker in the United States would make. I have a friend who, as a co-op, was making more than his dad, who owned a company in Bangladesh. And his friend had a co-op in the United States. And the answer to that is because it doesn't matter necessarily how hard you work. What matters is the task that you actually do. And when you identify and you realize that and you put it into practice, you'll see how you can do less work and get greater and greater outcomes from that the more you do it. And the author of The 4-Hour Work Week talks about how he will sit and just wait and go about his day, read a book, go for a walk, and he'll wait until he knows what that next task for him to tackle is. And that's what I wanted to make this video about. I wanted to talk about how you could, like, my brother and I were going to be late for a family dinner last week, and I was stressing out about that because we were working on a sleep supplement, Sleep Minerals, which is honestly amazing. But he told me, Jason, we could go to 1,000 family dinners and nothing would change. Or we could spend 1,000 days working on Sleep Minerals. We could spend we could launch 1,000 products. We could try to create something and make the world better 1,000 different ways, and will be successful and will eventually be wealthy. I'm like, yeah, that's completely fair. We could, like, I could go to 1,000 family dinners and nothing could change. So you have to wonder, where are you spending your life? You still need to balance it. You still need to go and have family and have friends, because what's the point of living if you don't? Life is not meant to be work. But when you do work, you need to really look at your tasks, look at what you're being asked to do, or what you're asking yourself to do. Because this really applies to people more so who are their own bosses, but still applies and it still helps people in their own life. When you're outside of work, when you no longer have a boss telling you what to do, and you have family stuff that needs to get done, chores around the house, apply this principle. Look at those chores. Is that proportionally what you want to be doing? Like, if you are trying to save money by using a clothesline, look at how much time you spend using that clothesline, and then compare that to how much you could make if you spent that time trying to start your own business. How much time do you spend vacuuming? An hour a week? 2 hours a week? Over the course of a year, how much does that add up to? 100, 200 hours? What if you got a robot that vacuumed for you? What would you do with that free time? And you also need the discipline to, when you have that time alone, when you're not working because you're putting your mind to the most important task, you need to have awareness and be able to relax and look at the world objectively without constantly seeking distraction, which is why I'm currently on day 4 or 3, I don't know, some day of my dopamine detox, where I'm cutting out all social media, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Audible. Well, I'm doing only an hour a day of Audible, because you still, like, there's lessons in books that you can learn, so you don't have to go through the pain of learning them yourself. And I mean, I would never know about the 80-20 principle unless I read books. So that's a great example. Anyways, I'm gonna end that for today and get to work. Peace out.